This is a daily book reading update. I'm currently reading The Penguin History of Early India by Ramlat Tapar from the origins to AD 1300. I'm on chapter 4. And recently what I've learned about are a couple of things. One, I learned there were some early epics in Indian literature, like the Vedic Scriptures, the Mahabharata, the, how do I pronounce it, the Ramayana, and some others, the Vedas, Puranas, and others. And they each come in different time periods, and some have different contents and whatnot. I learned that the Mahabharata and the Ramayana are basically like running in parallel. Ramayana is an epic, and it mostly follows something called the solar line, and Mahabharata is another epic, and it basically also follows something called the lunar line. And they have different stories and different themes. Yeah. What else? I learned about the Kali Yuga, which is basically it's like the fourth cycle in Indian history, because Indian history runs in Hindi history runs in these cycles. And Kali Yuga is the last and fourth one. It's like the lowest form. Yeah. So it's the current age in the Hindu cyclical view of time. I also learned about the Puranas, which is another collection. Another thing I learned about was apparently Hindu literature also has this idea of a large flood, flood that occurred in the area. And apparently this is not only limited to the Hindu tradition and the Hebrew tradition with Noah's Ark and whatnot, the Islamic tradition of course as well, and the Christian, but also it's this idea of a flood is very common within Mesopotamia cultures and Mesopotamian history. What else? I also learned about some language theories. Where are they? Oh, I also got a better understanding of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. That's from ChatGPT. So it's just telling me Hinduism was the most historic, Buddhism is a little later in 5th century BC, Jainism even a little Jainism a little earlier, 6th century BCE. And there were some differences, some of them believe in a soul, some don't. There were different types of they had different target audiences. Like Jainism was mostly catered to merchants, traders. Buddhism to lower caste people, because Buddhism did not believe in the caste system, unlike Hinduism. And Jainism also less supportive of the caste system. And then there's the Vedas. Yeah, there's the 4 books of the Vedas. Got a little bit of understanding of that. The Bhagavad Gita. So the Bhagavad Gita is actually part of a larger scripture. And then, and then the last thing, I'm trying to find the stuff about Indo-European. Yeah. So I learned about because this kept coming up. So I just got a better understanding of what's the difference between the Sanskrit language, Indo-Aryan language, Indo-European language, or languages, and Dravidian, and also Hindi. So basically Sanskrit is the super classical language. So the origins of all of these go back to the Indo-European language, and from there you have Indo-Aryan languages, and Sanskrit is one of the Indo-Aryan languages. And then Dravidian is a language that originated from southern India. So that's completely separate from the Indo-Aryan language, or Indo-Aryan languages. And then you also have Hindi, which is an evolution. It went through many steps from Sanskrit. Right? So Indo-European went to Indo-Aryan languages, and the whole theory is Indo-European started from central location near Iran, and then what was it, Iran? Let me just make sure. And then spread into Europe, and India, and parts of Asia and whatnot. And then Indo-Aryan is a subset of and the Aryan language is like a subset of the Indo-European language. And basically, Aryans were thought to have migrated over to India. And then Sanskrit is one of those Indo-Aryan languages. And then Hindi is a derivation of that. And then Dravidian is actually originally native to southern India. So I'll learn about that, yeah. So a little bit the Vedas, the Vedic Scriptures, some language theories. Yeah, pretty cool.